Hi, it's Dave at Imagemaker UK, and finally here we are, my newly redone layout. Now, as I wrote in the little intro that you may have read, the purpose really of this was, well, for me mainly, to have a nice looking railway. Rather than just a blank piece of board. But also, anyone thinking of converting similar to what I had, or worse, anyone thinking of doing something like this, how quickly, relatively cheaply and easy it is to do. There are a lot of harder ways and a lot more detail that you can get in and spend months and months and years building it forever. But if you're like me, or you're just impatient, but if you're like me and haven't got the time because of work commitments and family, etc., this is the way to go, I think. It really didn't take that long to do. In terms of actual man hours, I would say working to make this as it is, as you see it, probably at the most 12 hours of actual labour, and that is everything from the initial taking off of the locos and making everything bare and going through it all, doing it, thinking about it, redoing it, altering bits here and there. I've had quite a lot of time to mess about with it as well as actually completing it as you see it, and it's not taking that very much long. The length of time that's passed has been because, well, I was ill for a little while, but I hugely underestimated the raw materials that are required. So yes. Other reason is I had a plan in my head which I went forward with and I made and actually completed quite quickly, but I looked at it and I thought, this is looking rather bland and not what a model railway should be, if you like, not pleasing to the eye. And my mistake had been, because I've been a railwayman all of my since school days, is I made it too much like the real world, and in other words there was ballast practically everywhere because of the design of this. But that wasn't the look I was after from a model railway, and I don't think it's what a model railway should look like. I think a model railway should be that, a model of what a railway would be nice to look like. And to be honest, I think the railways are changing for the better in that respect and adding a lot more pleasantries to look at, which I'll get into in a bit. So what I done was I consulted with non-railway people, in other words my wife and my son who just turned 16 2 days ago. What a party that was, flipping heck. Just recovered, and they come up with the obvious suggestions of the grassy areas, which I originally done mostly in the outskirts. In these areas I wanted to keep, obviously main lines have to have ballast, so does the main yards. In my view, because of the sidings up at the station area, I'll get my pointer up here, there's sidings up here just beyond those trees, which I'll show you later on before the station. In real terms that should be ballast as well, but it works out, as I'll explain as well, up at the station, and why it works out for a model railway again. I mean that is really a whole yard area, but to split it up like that I think has worked really well. So I get their input into what they would like to see be more decorative. I think it's worked, and from what I'm seeing in what the camera can see at this time, you're seeing an awful lot of green, but there's not that much green from what you're seeing. For example, right up the top at the grey engine shed, the Pendolino's right away at the back. Whoops. Away over the back. Don't know if you can see the signal, but just beyond the station area anyway. That's all ballast apart from the greenery down in the corner where their set of trees are. And that back scenery section, it was only a couple of pounds. I didn't see the... I thought I would just add it in. I've no idea how it will look in videos. I have no idea how the whole layout will look in videos. At the moment there's still bits here and there that don't bear close inspection, but those will be fixed. And yeah, I'm very happy with it as it's turned out. It looks very nice. So yeah, the main problems, as I said, were the underestimation. So if you're going to do it, by all means do it the way I'd done it. Buy what you think you need, and then you'll find you need a lot more. And just keep buying it. I mean, there's no sense in overbuying. So that was a problem. I was waiting for stock to arrive. One thing I should say was I was wanting colour light signals on here. I was either going to work them directly off of the DCC via an AC supply, or I was actually preferring maybe just to run it from my DC power pack, and if a little kind of like a Signalman's switch box. But typically the batch of colour lights I got were faulty, so I've sent them back. So I'm waiting for them to come. So those will appear in the future, and no doubt you'll notice them. That was going to be a kind of main point for me, because I am from that side of the railway, the signalling side. Not a signaller, but a signal technician and upwards, if you like, a signalling investigator, and quite a bit more. However, enough about me. What I did do from the last video was I said I was going to ballast the track first. That plan changed because what I did was, and I would recommend anyone that undergoes this type of thing to do the same, I actually lifted the whole track except for the two outer main line loops. I lifted all of the sidings and all of the inside stuff, and that was the best thing I could have possibly done, because it allowed me, I've actually shifted it slightly this way, which you may notice if you compare, because I did need a little bit extra room there, and this side's a bit tight now, but that's okay. But what it allowed me to do, not only I was able to get a better spacing of the tracks, but because the original layout built up from a very basic layout, it had just been added on and added on ad hoc. So when I rebuilt it, what I was able to do was, for instance, when I was going through it, I was having a lot of problems here for some reason with trains derailing, and could never ever figure out what it was. And what it was the section of track that was there was actually broken, and it didn't look broken, and I could see no reason for it. But when I took that little part off for inspection, it was actually when I was putting the underlay for it, I discovered it was actually broken. The track, the rail had broken away from the sleepers. So I replaced that, immediately cured a problem. Also, there was this siding over here, which is where the Class 66 runs right around into with its EWS bogies. that is now all. I've got that all sorted out with different radiuses of solid track. There's no need for blue tack anywhere anymore. As you can see, it's all just sitting by itself, which is a big bonus. And basically everywhere I was coming across these little problems because it was just make, mend and do and fit things. And now everything's much more laid out, a lot better, and it's all one piece track, if that's the correct word. Yeah, and that was the best thing I could do, lift up the whole rail system and relay it just by moving this slightly, spacing it and spacing everything out and making everything run a lot more smoothly. I've only had a test train round it to make sure it was okay. Obviously found some ballast in the points and things, and got derailed a couple of times by ballast just lying in front of the rails, which isn't lifelike. You know, one bit of ballast hasn't been known in my book to derail a train, but that's model trains for you. So what I'll do is I'll just give you a quick, slightly quick run around of it. If I can, I'll start up at the top, if I can get my camera working. Right, where shall we go? Oh, up here. And there we go. Right, that's the shed obviously with the Pendolino in the new background. The signal there, and like I say, that's all sidings as was in the last video. That's the station you can see there. What I've done, why I've done that with the station with the trees and the bushes is the railway nowadays is trying to, maybe not so much as stations, but it's got a policy of trying not to hide itself, but trying to make itself less intrusive, or as little intrusive to the neighbours of the railway, i.e. businesses and housing. And it does that mostly by fencing and foliage type areas, which does work incredibly well because it deadens the sound, and it also hides these big monstrous trains going past, which isn't so good if you're into train spotting or want to actually see the trains, but the bulk of people would rather they didn't hear or see them, even though they bought their houses right next to a railway. But there you go, that's them. A little set of trees over there coming round. Got the signal box, made a little path for him to get to his box. That's all these sidings here, which you have to keep a yard like that, all ballast, because all sorts of stuff goes on. And into this station, this was a part that wouldn't, another part again, like, you wouldn't see that in real life. You wouldn't see grass growing right between the platform and the running lines. So I'll maybe stick ballast along the front of it, but that was the consensus from the non-railway people to make it look nicer, and was to put grass at the station areas, and also in this, if I come down, I had left this ballast because it was, I seen it as part of a kind of like a sidings, but I added grass in there as well. This was always all grass. And if I come over here and zoom in, you'll see down here, instead of using ballast to mix in the grass to ballast, I bunged a whole lot of coal down there. Now that's quite obvious because that's where the steam engine sits, and we all know steam engines make a blinking mess. So that's the steam engine's mess. Whereas compared to over there, just like other places like that, and up up the back end where it was originally. It's just bung a bit of glue down, stick some ballast on and just rummel it around until the big shed, seemingly the only building affected. I hadn't actually thought about it, but it made obviously sense. By raising the track onto this ballasted surface, as track is, this main shed here it sat down too low because the track had been raised and I couldn't get an engine in there. That's what the test train found out. So I've actually just boosted that one. These other two Hornby ones probably should do the same M, but they accept the same engines, or any engine, so I'm just leaving them. I'm not raising things when I don't have to. I mean, I should probably raise the platforms. I might do, especially those up there, but not at the moment. We'll see how things go. And apart from that, I think that's pretty much all I can say and all I really need to say about it just now. You'll get obviously much better close-up views of it in the next few videos I'm planning to do. So I'm very happy with it. It looks a lot better, and I would never get back to just the board now. It's not like I would rip this up and go back to the board. As you see now when I zoomed in the station area, for example, it looks a wee bit better close up. So it should hopefully look even better when it's right close up and you're seeing locos and buildings directly head on and from ground level, as it were. So hopefully the videography will go well. It's not expensive to do. The most expensive is probably the underlay, and it takes a lot of underlay. Didn't realise how much underlay I would need. This ballasted stuff I'm talking about for under the track. The rest is all just pounds to buy. You can get packs of trees for £1, and it's just a couple of pounds for a sheet of paper if you're wanting a backing or a background, and bushes, and it's not an expensive thing to do either. So it's not expensive relatively. It's not hard, but it's inevitable you'll underestimate what you need, but you just add on as you go, and that then leads to changes. And I would, once you've done what you think you've done, get other people's opinion, and that's always constructive, and that helped me make this, and it didn't just look like a barren grey horrible landscape which I had actually created. It's in the centre, it was just grey with a green outer. Anyway, I'm sure you're bored of this, so I'll get on. I'm going to repopulate it with all my locos and engines, and have a little bit of fun with it myself, and I'll put some sort of little video together, and you'll see various parts up close, and I'll probably do a couple like that, and hopefully these signals will come soon and we'll get those signals up and running. Quite annoyed about that. I was hoping that had been done, and it would have been done entirely, but yeah, for now that is my layout. Obviously it will progress further and further yet. I know this is open to criticism, and especially from me, myself, being a railway purist, but I can't criticise it when it's turned out as well as it did for as quick a time as it has done, and for as little money as it has done. So, hope you enjoyed this, and I certainly hope you enjoy seeing it up closer in the videos to come. It'll obviously be in every video to come now, not only the little ones I'm putting together especially. And I'll talk to you guys later. Please comment below and let me know what you think, what your opinions are. Obviously everybody's railway is their railway, and it should be it should be up to them what it looks like. But yeah, we'll go on and have a bit of fun with this just now, once I get all my engines back on, and then we'll get a video up and running and out to you guys, and you can see it in a lot more detail. So that's definitely me. So goodbye for now, and thanks for watching, and thanks for all the little comments from a good few of my subscribers. Be nice to hear from you again what you think. So this is Image Maker UK signing off yet again.